Hi, I'm Becky Lyons. Welcome to Jesus Speaks in the Book of Mormon and in Dreams. So as you can see, I'm here at the Mesa Temple, and I wanted to get reading done today before it got dark. So I'm going to go back into the Mesa Temple to finish up, but I just wanted to come out here and read with you Ether chapter 14. Yesterday we read the first half, and today we're going to read the second half. So the sins and iniquities bring a curse upon all of the land. Coriantumr engages in warfare against Gilead, Lib, and Shiz. Blood and carnage cover all the land. So this is these last two chapters of Ether are really gory. The whole entire Jaredite civilization is completely destroyed and annihilated by secret culminations. So these last two chapters are pretty grisly. Well, the next chapter is really grisly. This one's about the battles and about secret combinations killing people. So anyway, we are going to go back to 11. So Coriantumr came up into the land of Moron and gave battle unto Lib. It came to pass that he fought with Lib, which Lib did smite upon his arm. He was wounded. Nevertheless, the army of Coriantumr did press forward upon Lib, and he fled to the borders of the seashore. Coriantumr pursued him, and Lib gave battle unto him upon the seashore. Lib did smite the army of Coriantumr, and they had fled again into the wilderness. Lib did pursue him until he came to the plains of Agash. And Coriantumr had taken all the people with him as he fled before Lib in that quarter of the land whither he had fled. And when he had come to the plains of Agash, he gave battle unto Lib, and he smote him until he had died. Nevertheless, the brother of Lib did come against Coriantumr in the stead thereof. And the battle became exceedingly sore, in which Coriantumr fled again before the army of the brother of Lib. Now was the name of the brother of Lib was called Shiz. And it came to pass, Shiz pursued after Coriantumr, and he did overthrow many cities. And he did slay both women and children, and he did burn all the cities. And there went a fear of Shiz throughout all of the land, yea, a cry went forth throughout the land, who can stand before the army of Shiz? Behold, he sweepeth the earth before him. And it came to pass that people began to flock together in the armies throughout all the faces of the land. And they were divided. A part of them fled to the army of Shiz, and a part of them fled to the army of Coriantumr. And so great and lasting had been the war, and so long had been the scene of bloodshed and carnage, that the whole face of the land was covered. This is really gross. The whole face of the land was covered with bodies of the dead. And so swift and speedy was the war that there was none left to bury the dead. They did march forth into the shedding of blood. They did march forth from the shedding of blood to the shedding of blood, leaving the bodies of both men. Oh, that's horrible. I don't like reading this. Leaving the bodies of men, women, and children strewed upon the face of all the land, to become a prey to the worms of the flesh. And the scent thereof went forth upon the face of the land, even upon all the face of the land, wherefore the people became troubled by the scent day and night because of the scent. So the bodies were beginning to decay and stink. Nevertheless, Shiz did not cease to pursue Coriantumr, for he had sworn to avenge himself upon Coriantumr for the blood of his brother, who had been slain and killed, and the word of the Lord which came to Ether, that Coriantumr should not fall by the sword. And thus we see that the Lord did visit them in the fullness of his wrath, and their wickedness and abominations have prepared a way for their everlasting destruction. It came to pass that Shiz did pursue Coriantumr eastward, even to the borders of the seashore, and there he gave battle unto Shiz for the space of 3 days. And so terrible was the destructions among the armies of Shiz that the people began to be frightened and began to flee before the armies of Coriantumr. They fled to the land of Korihor and swept off the inhabitants before them, all that would not join them. They pitched their tents into the valley of Korihor, and Coriantumr pitched his tents in the valley of Shur. Now the valley of Shur was near the hill Kamnor. Wherefore Coriantumr did gather his armies together, and upon the hill Kamnor, and did sound a trump unto the armies of Shiz to invite them forth to battle. They did come forth, but were driven again, and they came the second time. They were driven again the second time, and it came to pass, they came again before them the third time, and the battle became exceedingly sore. Shiz smote upon Coriantumr, and he gave him many deep wounds. And Coriantumr, having lost his blood, fainted, and was carried away as though he were dead, but he wasn't dead. Now the loss of the men, women, and children on both sides was so great that Shiz commanded his people that they should not pursue the armies of Coriantumr, wherefore they returned back to their camp. So that is the end of Ether 14 Part 2. And then we're going to read the very last chapter of this tomorrow. And the whole entire Jaredite civilization is going to be destroyed in our next chapter, which is really sad. And to hear all the men and women, innocent men and women and children being killed is just heartbreaking reading this. So we'll see you tomorrow.